have the conversation.
We're in the frame with you. Yes.
Imagine that.
It's like hard to not look at
It's okay. You can look at yourself.
I'm like, hey, I'll be doing
I know.
this
Then
all
you're
the time.
like, I gotta
and,
fix my hair.
you know, like,
Yeah.
I put all of this on YouTube.
This
part.
isn't a perfect location though because you can't see it. My skirt. I typically don't wear skirts this short. I almost put on my
We can give you a
leggings, too.
blanket.
Yeah, that's true.
A scarf, a cashmere.
Yes, I have many. I'm going to do 3, 2, 1. We have a special guest in the studio today.
Yes, we do.
She is an award-winning journalist from
Ooh.
KOTV Channel 6. That's our CBS affiliate here in Tulsa. Her name is Tess Monty. And Tess, you're on our 250th episode. Yes.
You're a winner.
You
You
get
get
to
to be on our episode.
Thank you. It's a great prize.
So Tess is the outdoor and wildlife reporter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that your title?
Yeah.
Well, it's one of them.
Oh, excuse me.
Many.
I wear many hats. Well, yes, it's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I anchor in the morning and
Right.
then I report, but I'm kind of the designated outdoor wildlife reporter.
Okay.
You know, the last wildlife reporter I knew was when I worked at KRMG,
Uh-huh.
and his name was Sam Powell.
Okay.
And he hit on me.
Don't do that.
And he was an old guy.
Don't hit on
That was
Candace,
a
right?
long time ago. That was a long time ago. But that's my memory of outdoor reporters.
Okay. Okay.
What is an outdoor reporter? What does
Well,
that
so
mean?
I cover the outdoors and the things that are happening in the outdoors. So hunting and fishing. And what I really like to do is feature other people in the outdoors and really share their stories. And I mean, it's a heritage for families and traditions for families to get out and hunt and fish and be outside. So it's fun to be able to really showcase that to
So are you
viewers.
from here?
I'm from Oklahoma.
And is this something that your family did when you were growing up too?
No.
Oh.
No,
Wow.
I know.
You
Plot
grew,
twist.
you grew up in this big city?
I grew up in El Reno, Oklahoma, which
Okay.
is just west of Oklahoma City. And I mean, I had plenty of friends who hunted, all guys. I didn't know any girls who hunted or who fished. And I was always interested in it.
Mhm.
And I did have one of my good friends. She had a farm pond in her backyard, and we would go out with hot dogs and fish in her farm pond.
Mhm.
And we never caught a fish. And we tried a
Hot-
lot.
But you only used hot dogs.
But hot dogs is good bait sometimes.
okay?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's a good bait that fish will eat sometimes, and but not for us. So I don't think we didn't know what we were doing. We just would go out with our poles and.
But a part of, and because we're going to talk, okay, so Tess has many talents, and one of them is hunting, but the other one that we started talking about was foraging. So this episode, we're going to talk about foraging.
Yes.
And then you have to listen for the next episode to hear about hunting.
And other things.
And other things that are even more interesting.
We're going to have lots of questions about.
Okay.
Yeah.
About everything.
Well, not everything. Calm down.
Take it easy.
Calm down. Calm down.
Okay.
So
Bring
we
it
got
on.
on the subject of hunting for morel mushrooms.
Yes.
Yes.
And actually, after we had our initial conversation, and we talked about, because morels usually appear Marchish.
Yeah.
So this is kind of late for morels now. But then there was this video with Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani.
Oh, looking
Finding
for.
all
Oh,
of
they
these
found them.
Tons,
Yeah.
huge. I've never seen such
It
big
was like
morels.
the Morel gold mine.
On his property.
I'm assuming it
Probably.
was down there by Tishomingo.
Tishomingo,
Is what
yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is it a regional thing? Like, is it only in certain places in Oklahoma that you can find morels?
No, you can find them statewide.
Okay.
Yeah. And just when I think I know where, like, okay, they're just under cottonwoods, then they pop up under a cedar tree. But they do seem to, what I have found, they do like disturbed soil. Disturbed soil.
By like an animal?
No.
Just
like
like stirred
maybe
up.
like a tree's uprooted.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
And it grows there.
And it grows there.
Okay.
I found a lot around disturbed soil.
Does rain matter? Like how much rain we've had,
You
or
need
how much?
rain. You
Okay.
need moisture for them to grow.
It's a fungi.
Right. So they
Yeah.
grow in a moist, kind of dark environment? Because they don't really grow in the sun, do they?
Well, sometimes, you know what? again, that's another thing. So like, I think, okay, they really like to be in kind of this area. And then my
I'm
husband and I
surprised.
were out turkey hunting actually in Caddo County in western Oklahoma. And we were on top of kind of a canyon in an open field, not a tree in sight. And we looked down and there are 2 morel mushrooms, like
Just
perfect
there.
condition, just right there. Like
Just like
in the
magically in
middle
this
of
open
nowhere.
area.
in the middle of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
we'd never seen anything like it.
Because it's maddening trying to find when
Mhm.
you're trying to find morel mushrooms, because my boyfriend lives in Braggs
Uh-huh.
and it's country out there. And
Yeah.
we thought, over a couple, 3 years, we thought, oh, we're going to go out and we're going to find morels.
Mhm.
Well, hell, we didn't find any morels. But then there were other people who did and said, oh, they're over here. And it's like, no, they aren't. Or you took them all. I don't know.
Well, or you might have stepped over or stepped on, 2 dozen when you were looking and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Because they are so camouflaged. And sometimes, you might be, you kind of got to get down, level with them and look.
So do you crawl around looking for morels?
I
on the
have gotten
ground?
on my hands and knees to get morels. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And one of our spots, is kind of a thorn bush. So you have to kind of crawl in, slink in through like,
What do
So
you
it's
wear?
like-
What do you wear for
Yeah.
this?
To get into the
Are
brown.
Are you in like a shark suit? Like, what do you wear for this?
full body armor?
Yeah.
Just jeans and a t-shirt.
Okay,
Usually. I mean, it just
okay.
depends on the weather. If you've got some kind of like more brushy pants
Mhm.
that are kind of almost canvas feeling, that's the best, I think, because
They
if
don't
you-
scare you. Don't get
yeah.
scratched up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, wear whatever fits that season.
We get that.
Yeah.
We get that. So,
Don't wear leggings though. Bad
No
choice.
leggings.
No
No
leggings.
leggings.
Don't do that.
Leggings, bad
Yeah.
choice.
no athleisure wear out in
Yeah.
the woods. When did the morel thing happen for you? Like, was it like 10 years ago and you were like, I'm going to go look for mushrooms in the woods, or like what happened?
My husband.
Your husband
introduced-
happened. Okay.
Yeah. I met my husband. And so it would have been 10 years ago.
So what does your husband do?
He's a wildlife biologist.
Okay, which is why he is all about this as well.
And
Okay.
he did grow up doing all of it. So it's, goes far back in his family. But I had never heard of a morel mushroom. Well, I didn't know
Yeah,
they
right.
existed.
Okay, wait. Do you cook?
I cook some.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like you two.
That's okay.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said, "Hey, there are these mushrooms in the woods," and
Yeah.
you were like, "This man's trying to get me high." Like,
yeah, like what kind of mushroom?
and why are you taking me to the woods? Like, let's get married. You're going to murder me. Yeah. What?
Luckily, I'd known him for a while
Okay,
at that
okay.
point, so I felt comfortable
Going in the
going
woods.
to look for mushrooms.
Yeah.
With a man. Yeah.
yeah. And I didn't know, like, they kind of, I always say they look brainy.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they do.
I don't even know. I can't really. I remember the first time we went morel mushroom hunting. We were headed out, and I don't know if I had seen one. Surely I'd pulled one up on the internet and
Right,
looked
just
at
looked
it,
at it,
But
yeah.
I didn't know, where we were looking or what we were looking for. And he found the first one, so then I saw it, and I knew, okay.
And
All
so,
right,
what
so-
color are morel mushrooms?
So there are. They can be kind of yellowy, and then there are gray morel mushrooms.
Okay, but they all have that kind of brainy look.
They all have a brainy look,
And so they're small, little to the ground, low to the ground, or do they pop up?
They pop up.
Okay.
So they can have a long stem.
Mhm.
You might find them itty bitty babies.
Mm-hmm.
Those are so cute.
But those are the ones that you really have to get down on your belly to
Yeah,
find.
right. Yeah. and sometimes they'll grow in like little clusters. So
Okay.
I always like when I find one in a cluster and there's like 5 or 6 or 7 of
Now,
them.
are they those kinds of things that people say that if you're out, like picking wildflowers or whatever, don't pick all of them, leave one behind so that it can procreate or whatever?
In the morel mushroom world, what people will always say, and I don't know if there's any like scientific proof and research behind this, but they say to carry it in like a mesh bag
I've
to
heard
let
that,
the spores
yeah.
fall out.
That makes
So
sense.
we always tried to take a bag.
We
that
had
has-
mesh bags
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you use like a little pair of scissors, or do you just pluck them right out?
We
or?
cut them with a knife. So we
Okay.
like to leave a little bit of the stem in there.
Mhm.
Again, I don't know if there's any,
But this is what your
Yeah,
husband told
but
you.
this is what we do. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't like to pull them all the way out of the ground. We like to cut them off.
Have
with
you
the stem.
had pretty good success finding morels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. This season wasn't our best, and we didn't hunt them as much this season. We probably found like 60 to 100 this season.
I guess
Oh
you
my
hunt
God,
them,
that's
huh?
a lot.
Yeah, you hunt them,
Hunt mushrooms.
but they're not going to go anywhere.
Right. Right. That's not a hard hunt.
They're not, but,
Except
but
it is, because you can't
they're-
find 'em.
They're not moving.
Yeah.
and the one
They're
thing,
hiding.
Here's another thing though about, because it's like this culture
Mhm.
of morel mushroom hunters, is that don't ask people where they found them.
No, they won't tell
They're,
you.
like, it's very secretive.
So your husband takes you out on this first trip.
Yeah.
You find some.
Yeah.
And then-
and I was, I mean, like screaming I found one.
I was like, okay.
And he was
He's
like,
like, okay, honey.
quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't want to give up your spots.
Yeah.
So he was like, bring it down.
So you take them home, and then what happens
What's the
with
process
them?
What do you
then?
do?
What-
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so then we get them home and we might trim off the stem just a little bit. We leave most of the stem, but you might cut just a little bit of it off. And we cut them in half,
Okay.
like just down the center.
Yeah.
And so like this microphone would be like right
Yep.
there.
So-
And then we soak them in water, a little salt and water, and put them in the fridge and soak them. You can soak them. I mean, you could go on and if you clean them off, you could clean them right then.
Are they poisonous? Is that why you do that?
No, just to get all the dirt.
Oh,
off.
just to clean
No.
them. Okay.
No, but there is a red morel that I think is called a false morel. I know
Ooh.
people who do eat them, but I'm not going to take the chance because they do have some toxicity to them.
Okay.
So I always tell people don't eat red morels, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I've known of people who have, but that's not my recommendation.
So once you get them clean, and by the way, we all domesticated mushrooms are completely different.
Yeah. Do
from-
not do this
from-
with the mushrooms you buy at the grocery
No,
store.
don't soak them in water.
Do not
with
salt them.
Don't do that.
Yeah, those are
Don't
the
do
two
that.
big no-nos.
Yeah, don't do that. But morels, I mean, they're wild, so you have to get them.
you want to
clean.
get a clean,
Right. You
clean
wanna
off.
clean.
So is this like you have to let them soak like overnight, or
You don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, you could truly, if you came in from the woods and you wanted to get to it right then and eat your morels, just rinse them off.
Okay.
But I've cut open morels and there've been, slugs in them.
Right.
Yeah.
Slugs are the ones that I find most of the time. I've not ever found. There might be some
Inside.
other
Inside the
Mhm.
morel.
Up, yeah.
Okay.
Living inside.
Nice.
Having a little
Yeah.
snack.
So they'll come out in the salty water
Usually
Or they
they
come
come
out
out when I cut it.
when you cut it in half,
Yeah.
and then you cut the slug in half.
I don't think I've ever cut the slug all the way in half.
Okay.
No.
So you cut it in half, then what happens?
Well,
After you clean them.
after I clean them.
Yeah.
So then we fry them and eat them.
You
That's
like
our
bread
favorite.
'em and fry
yeah.
'em?
Okay.
Okay.
So we prefer to use club crackers.
Okay.
So we get club crackers and we put them in a Ziploc baggie and we take a rolling pin to
Mhm.
them and get it really, really fine.
Yeah.
And then we season them, usually just with salt and pepper,
Mhm.
maybe a little seasoned salt, maybe some Cavenders. My husband likes Cavenders. I'm kind of like,
That's a,
you know,
that's a good seasoning.
you
Yeah.
know, like I'm okay, but salt and pepper is good too. Just some seasoned salt, or maybe some garlic powder. Probably not too much of that though. So anyway, then we do a milk and egg wash,
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
and so we
Impressive.
just put the old mushroom in there.
So do you do like one at a time?
Nope, we put in a big bunch in, get in the wash, and then
Mhm.
we put it in the Ziploc baggie and shake it up,
Uh-huh.
and then we put it in the
Oil.
oil.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you just have a little snack.
Voila. Yeah. And usually eat it with ranch. But I think they're so good.
course you
I
do.
don't need ranch. I don't. My husband likes it with ranch, but
Yeah.
for me,
Do you
I
still
don't
have
need
some
it.
ice cream?
I
oh,
do.
do you have?
Have you
the
tried
ranch.
I haven't, but I've heard of them.
Oh, we're gonna have to make her try it.
We're
Yeah.
gonna be trying that. Yeah.
But I've also, so I like to make spaghetti sauce, meat sauce.
Uh-huh.
And I don't make like the sauce myself. I just buy the sauce. But I'll do not can-bought minced garlic.
Don't buy that shit.
Don't buy that shit.
Don't buy the pre-minced garlic.
So I'll use garlic and onions, and I'll saute all that and some, and then I'll saute the mushrooms with them and put it in my
You
my
zhuzh
meat
it up,
garlic
yeah.
sauce.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's really good in that. We've put just like sauteed mushrooms on morel mushrooms on our pizza too. We've made a little pizza.
So for those people out there that haven't seen or tried a morel, is the texture different from a regular mushroom?
Yeah, well, because it's got that little brainy, and it's thinner. They're thinner
Okay.
too, most of them. And you asked about the color, so there's kind of this yellow, more spongy looking one.
Mhm.
Well, they're both kind of spongy, but then there's a gray one,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the gray ones better.
Different flavor?
It has a little bit of a different taste, in my opinion,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
a different texture, just because
Okay.
it's just a little bit of a smaller brainy design. I don't know. What
You're really selling
Okay,
the morel
I know.
mushrooms here.
I
They
know.
taste like brain.
They don't. They don't. They look
They have
like
texture. They
spongy.
texture like brain. Yeah.
I know.
Yum.
Well, they look spongy, but they don't taste spongy. That makes
So
sense.
have you cooked morels?
I have.
And how have you cooked them?
Well,
Because I know you haven't fried them.
No, but the only morels that I've been able to find are dried.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you have to reconstitute them
Mhm.
either in a hot broth or hot water.
Okay.
And then I go very French, ha ha ha, and do a cream sauce with them.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So next time I need to bring you some of my morels.
yes, you do. Yes, bring me morel mushrooms.
I can do that. Well, the thing for us is, I mean, we can only eat so many.
Yeah.
Of
So are these
them.
all on where you live?
Yeah,
Like
we-
on your property?
We have some private property that we're allowed to go on to,
Okay,
to
As
hunt
well.
them.
Okay.
Because you're not supposed to.
She's trying to find out where your
You're
morels
like,
are.
what are the coordinates?
And so what does it look like?
But apparently, I believe the rule is, unless they've changed it, you're not supposed to do it on public land.
Okay.
You're not
Yeah,
supposed
because
to do it on
actually,
public land.
my boyfriend got on public land and was looking for him, and
Did you get in trouble?
one of the
Tessa's husband came out.
no,
He was like,
no,
Cornell, get off that property.
one of the wildlife
like a
game
ranger
warden or
a
something?
ranger game
Yeah.
warden was out, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And so Cornell said, "Well, I'm looking for morel." He said, "Well, you're on public land. You can't do it over
Yeah.
here."
What's the deal with that?
So I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
like
not
if I'm
really
out
sure.
on a walk in the woods and I find some morels, I can't pick them.
I don't know.
Well, you're not really supposed to take a stroll in public.
You can.
public lands.
You can walk, but you're supposed to have a conservation passport if you go on. public
Whoa.
land. Yeah.
See,
Now,
there you
now
go.
we're talking about. I mean, I don't know what the rules are on, say, Turkey Mountain.
Right.
I mean, you can go up there and walk around. I don't
Yeah.
know. You may be able to, if you find them, take them. I don't know what the rules are there, but we're talking about wildlife department managed land.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little
Yeah.
different than.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to walk around in those woods.
Yeah.
So, okay, random off-topic question: is your name Tess, or is your name like Contessa, or like
just test.
just Tess?
Yeah.
Okay, just Tess. What else do you forage for in the woods other than mushrooms?
So we do poke.
What does that?
Poke
What does that
salad.
mean?
It's a green.
It's like a weed.
It's a weed.
Yeah.
It's a weed. Yeah.
And it is one that you have to boil at least twice.
Okay, so poke you have to forage for in the woods, or does it just pop up everywhere? Or
I mean, we find it in the woods.
and it's a big green
but
leaf.
it'll pop up in anywhere.
It
Yeah.
might be more urban. I've only ever found it like, when we've been out kind of and about.
This is a husband thing too, huh?
yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah. I
all of
mean,
this.
anything that.
Did you become the outdoorsy person because of your husband?
So I did a story noodling with News on 6 when I first got to Tulsa. So that was 11 years ago. And I didn't meet my husband on that story, but I wanted to go again on a noodling trip.
Which
and
we'll talk about in the next
Yeah,
episode, because
yeah.
I don't know why you'd want to do that more than once.
Yeah,
but
don't-
okay.
Don't
I
let
won't
it-
get
Yeah,
too
we won't talk too
out
much
of the
about
bag.
that.
Yeah, I won't
the
get
catfish out of the
So-
bag.
Like you have fish
Oh,
out of the
okay.
arm.
Oh,
yeah.
is that okay?
That's the other thing we're talking
okay,
about.
well, but anyway, I met my husband the second time I went.
And then he
And-
was outdoorsy, so you were like, I'm kind of into this. You kind of had the hot dog thing, so you were kind of into the fishing, and you were like, yeah. And so you just fell right into this
Well,
world.
I mean, I wanted to go hunting. We met in July and October.
Was that the first time you'd been hunting?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, back to poke. Back to
Yes,
poke.
Back to poke.
Back to
Yeah.
poke.
So yes, it was. So yes, he introduced me to that. In the same time, it's like turkey season, morel mushroom hunting, and poke. So
Is all the same time of year.
same time of year,
Okay.
and so that's like our favorite springtime meal is to have fresh wild turkey, poke salad, and morel mushrooms
Okay, so let's talk more about poke. Why do we need to boil that twice?
because it is poisonous.
So you can't just pluck it and eat it.
No.
It would be bad.
Okay, you die.
And I believe let's keep in mind, I'm not an expert on any of this. Okay.
You're more than we are. I'd be dead because I'd be like, poke
Well,
weed.
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
Yeah.
So like they grow to be huge. Like they could grow to be taller than me. These
Oh,
poke
the-
weeds, like they get so big,
Oh.
but you want to get them when they're smaller because I think that the bigger that they get, maybe the more poisonous they get.
Yeah, or maybe just
Or
tougher.
tough, or
Like
tough.
fish are like that,
Yeah.
like halibut, like the
But
500
also,
pound.
like spinach. If spinach
Well,
gets
games
too
like
big,
that too. Yeah. You want kind of
So-
smaller.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we get it smaller.
So you go out. Is there a specific place that grows that you have to go look for it? And
Yeah,
do you
it's
do you
statewide.
hunt poke?
We don't hunt poke because it's so much easier to find, and
Okay.
there's more of it. You know,
Okay.
like morels are sporadic, and I mean, you really just have to once you learn what you're looking for. So, like, if you go and you spot one, you cut your eyes like, okay, now I've got it. Now I see it.
Yeah.
And you know, you really want to. I mean, you can't just walk and look. You got to stop and look
At
at your
everything.
feet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, you really want to look.
But
here.
even when you do that, you may not.
You may be standing.
oh
on it.
yeah, sometimes yeah,
we did
for
much.
sure.
We did much of that.
Yeah.
I did not get down on my hands and knees, however.
No,
You
she
don't
would
have
never
to do
do
that,
that.
but you could squat.
I'm
down.
surprised she
You don't
even
know that.
went.
You
I'm
don't
surprised
know
you
that.
even went in the fucking.
Of course.
Sorry, in the woods. I was doing so well. Bleep bleep. So back to poke. So you get the poke weed, you bring it back to the house,
Uh-huh.
and what happens?
And then so cut it up. My husband usually does the poke. I've
Okay.
never made the poke.
But you boil it twice.
Boil it twice. So
You
he
cut it up and boil it.
cut it up and boil it,
In
and
salted
he
water?
does it like kind of like what like you'd make green beans with onion and bacon.
Bacon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
and then just cooks it that
My
way.
mom
Cooks it
loved
down.
poke
It's good.
So
She
when you
loved
say
it.
poke salad, it's not
salad.
a salad.
No.
Okay,
And-
it's like a warm green.
It's SALAT.
Yeah.
Poke salad.
Oh wait, that's the name of the poke.
Poke.
Oh.
POLK salad.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know. Yeah.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah, and some people call it poke Annie salad. I don't know, like
I've never heard it called
Okay.
that, but that doesn't mean
Is it
anything.
bitter?
I don't.
A
I'm not
bitter
very
green.
good at like telling you like
You
those
did.
things.
With the brains, you did.
Yeah. Like, well,
they
what-
look like brains. They don't. Well, I don't know what brain tastes like.
So like romaine can be bitter. Romaine's lettuce can be bitter, or
Bitter greens.
It
I mean,
has
there's
bitter
like a
green.
or it could be mustardy
It has
or
a
it could
little.
be.
It's not mustardy.
Okay.
It has a little bit of a different taste though. I could get you some of that. Like
Okay.
this time, I could like probably go out and
Go
bring you some tomorrow if you
to
want.
Candace's yard.
I don't know.
It's not
I'm
my
looking
yard.
back there. I'm like, I don't see any.
I
But
don't think so.
if you're interested in poke, I could probably find you some of that.
Okay, so you cook that up, and then
Mhm.
you do. So your favorite meal is that with some wild turkey
Mm-hmm.
and and the top of fried morels, an appetizer of fried morels.
Yeah, we usually are
Okay.
eating the fried morels as we're cooking, and then we'll have, of course, potatoes and
because
gravy.
it's a snack. Potatoes and gravy.
Potatoes and gravy.
Turkey gravy.
Well, with
What kind of gravy?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
it's
Like we do,
wild
like
turkey.
chicken fried turkey.
Oh, okay. So everything's fried,
except for the salad.
Well, it is Oklahoma, you
Except for
know.
the poke.
but the salad's cooked with bacon. And then do you dip all of that in ranch?
No, no, I don't need the ranch. My husband likes to dip.
The
I
mushrooms.
think they're so good. I don't need ranch, and I feel the same way about like I don't really need to like drizzle gravy all over my turkey either because it's so good without it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Anything? Any other for? There's
Well,
a whole bunch of
I mean,
mushrooms out
Well,
there.
that's what I was. Well, here, let me see if I've got a. I said I was. I don't even know how to say it. Oh, it's hen of the woods.
It is hen of
Oh,
the
it
woods.
is hen of the
Okay.
woods. Okay.
Yeah,
That we have here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Over
Yeah.
here.
So hen of the woods, like that tastes like kind of almost like steaky. You could just cook it up and just eat it.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
So
Kinda like
have you found that
portobellos
in the
or-
woods? Have you found
yeah,
that?
yes, we've
Okay.
found hen of the woods, and then oyster mushrooms,
Oh yeah.
which they kind
Yeah.
of they grow like on trees.
Yeah,
and
they grow on the
wood and
trees,
stuff.
yeah.
Did
The bark,
did
yeah.
those mushrooms grow at different times of the year?
So when we were out, let's see, yeah, they're more like
Are they more fally?
with moisture and things like
Oh,
that. You
okay.
might- I'm speaking out of turn. I don't know. I see them different times. Like I saw them in the fall.
Okay.
We picked some when we were deer hunting, but I think we've also seen them turkey hunting in the spring.
Mhm.
So it's probably moisture temperature.
Yeah, it's probably cooler
sure.
and wet.
So the hen of the woods. What does that look like?
It is like layers of mushrooms, and
Okay.
it can be
That's
kind of
fun. I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that on the ground or
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
it's on the
that's
ground?
where I found the one that I have only found one hen of the woods, but I have a friend who he finds it and he's given some taxidermist.
That'll be part of the next episode.
But he freezes it and has given me.
So
some.
what's the strangest thing that you in the whole foraging world that you have come across?
That she's eaten,
Yeah.
or just
Well, that
okay.
that you can eat because what's the point otherwise?
right.
Well, I mean, for
This
me,
is a cooking podcast.
because I'm like only 10 years in,
That's
you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
much longer
that
than
seems
us.
like a lot.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true. Longer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, that's a
it's
long
all
time.
Because I will
perspective
be
and-
like, not at all.
But for me, just the fact, like, from who I, before I met my husband, I wasn't doing any of this. So
Is your family like, what's happened to her?
I don't think so. They're kind of like
They're cool with it.
we made some mushrooms last year for my mom,
Yeah.
and she's kind of a little bit standoffish of things that come from the wild. I don't
Everything
know.
comes from the wild.
Well, but
Okay.
it wasn't.
But
grown.
mostly the grocery store.
yeah.
True.
So it just, she's a little bit like not sure about it, but she really liked the morel mushrooms. So
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like just the fact that I've might not have been that open minded before, and now I'm like trying all of these
Yeah.
crazy things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what crazy thing did you find in the woods that you ate?
Well, I feel like just the fact that I started with like morels, and then I
That was-
So she eats anything.
Yeah, that's how I feel at this point. But now I'm a lot more open to it. The poke salad, the fact that you have to like, when my husband explained, well, we got to boil this a couple of times because it's poisonous. I was like,
Did it take you a while to eat that?
it made me nervous.
It would make me nervous. I get that.
Um,
It's like that fish. What is it? Tiger fish or whatever?
Yeah,
That you like have
uh-huh.
to cut it right, otherwise you're dead.
Yeah, no,
And
thanks.
you're like,
I'm not sure about that.
do I want to
But
spend
I
money
can't,
on that?
I can't
Like,
really think of anything else like crazy that we found and eaten.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We do, like wild garlic
Mhm,
and wild
mhm,
onions.
mhm.
I always love that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You're-
Yeah.
You
It
smell it on
smells
your
great,
nose.
yeah.
And you know when you're, sitting amongst it.
Do you grow? Do you grow stuff? Do you have like a garden? Do you?
We have. We
Okay.
don't have one this year,
Mhm.
but that's fun to do.
What kind of things have you grown in your garden?
We have grown tomatoes, a lot of tomatoes
Okay.
and peppers,
Yeah.
cucumbers and squash,
Uh-huh.
and strawberries.
Okay, fun. Okay.
No, I lied. They're
Oh,
little
okay.
grape tomatoes.
No.
Never mind.
She looked at me and she said strawberries, and then she looked really confused, but I didn't say anything. Did
You
you?
could have believed that. You know, you could have just gone right on.
Well, I
Didn't
should
have
have.
to.
I know, but then my husband would listen, and he'd be like, "You have never grown
Never grow
strawberries."
strawberries on purpose.
Well, I was thinking about I had fed my little dog Cookie some of the grape tomatoes,
Uh-huh.
and I was thinking it was a strawberry because I also feed her strawberries. Sometimes your memories are tied to like a video or a picture.
Yeah.
But no, that's what.
Sometimes you
yeah.
need glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes your
Yeah.
eyes are just
That's true. Bad.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it. I would like to grow okra
Okay.
because I love okra. That's probably my
Yeah.
favorite veggie.
Okra's a good one, and it grows like a weed
Yeah,
once you get
a
it
lot.
established.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
because
is
it's
it
a
native?
weed.
Is it
Yeah,
native here?
It's
It's
native.
native here.
You
Yeah.
mentioned too that you had some like dried mushrooms.
Morels,
That's how
yeah.
you had morels.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of we get all of these, and sometimes we have to throw them out because we
Mhm.
don't have to.
Try them.
Need a dehydrator.
Yeah,
You probably
but
have
I've
one, don't
always we do. Yes,
Yeah,
we
she
do have a
probably has
dehydrator.
one in her
yeah.
basement, yeah.
We've got two actually.
Yeah. How many does your? When you said taxidermist, for a minute it took me a minute because I was like, oh, her tax guy,
No,
and then I was like, nope, different guy.
that's a different guy. That's a different.
That's a different guy. I don't have a taxidermist.
So we have so much more
So much
to
more
talk with
Did I
Yeah.
answer all
Tess
your
about.
questions?
All,
for now.
for now,
Yeah.
but we're coming back. We're going to have episode number 2 where we start talking about hunting
And noodling.
and noodling.
Yeah.
So we'll be back and stay fresh.
Forage bags.
We always end every episode
I
with
got
stay
hot.
fresh.
Did you get warm?
Yeah. Well, not. It's
Do I
just
need
like
to turn the fan on?
no. I just get like
Get into it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like
Excited.
woo.
We're
Well,
excited
I almost
now.
brought like comfortable clothes,
Yeah, you
and
should
then I
have.
forgot.
Oh.
They were right on my little table.
Well, at 1:30 in the morning, I'd forget shit
I
too.
know, I know.
Like my brain.
Mhm.
It's
She
not-
wouldn't be
it's-
doing
it's
it.
a
You
shit.
just have to stay
I just
up.
stay up.
You just have to stay up.
Yeah, because I'm still awake at 1:30 in the morning.
Well, I mean, you would have to adjust.
Yeah. How long have you been on this schedule?
Almost 6 years.
And are you adjusted to it? Or does your
I
body
mean,
still like fuck you when you wake up at 1:30
Oh, ever.
in the
I mean, I will
morning?
never, ever. I always will hate waking up at that time.
How many days a week do you do that?
5.
So then what do you do the other 2 days?
The other 2 days, like I might just wake up at like
Shay, we're filming
around-
too, so if you can not sneak behind us, that'd be awesome. No, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay, just so you know.
Well, I saw her come in. I was like, oh, there's another person here.
Yeah.
Hi.
The
Yeah,
other
so
2
I wake
days?
up at like, I don't know, like I might wake up at 4 and then say, okay, it's time to go. Like you got to go back to sleep for a little bit longer. Usually wake up at like get out of bed at 5:30 or 6.
Does your husband as well?
No,
Oh,
no, that's what's annoying. Like I'll be up until like he might sleep till 10 because he doesn't sleep very well,
hmm.
and so like
So you've been up for like
I'm just
half
like,
the day.
yeah, I'm like,
You're like, I'm ready for a cocktail.
yeah, like I might already be in one. So he might come in and I'm like, he'll hear that champagne pop and I'll have drink of 4 mimosas.
Is that hard? Is that a hard schedule?
I would prefer it over most.
Really?
Like I've worked every schedule at 6, and like the regular shift is nice.
Mhm.
I mean, 9 to 5 is pretty good, but it was never 9 to 5. It was more like 9 to 6.